Let's talk about this comment. Is a will worth the paper it's written on? I get a lot of comments about people saying wills are not worth it because they can be contested. And I've got a few problems with those kind of comments because let's talk about a contract. In any type of contract, contracts can be contested or challenged or breached. And yet I don't hear anyone walking around saying that they wouldn't get a contract done. In fact, everyone says they should have everything in writing and you need a contract or a written agreement before you buy and sell most things. That's commonly accepted, even though I would suggest that there's a higher percentage of contracts that are breached than wills. It's actually a very small percentage of wills that are contested and an even smaller percentage of those that are actually successfully contested. Like, I don't think people understand how small of a chance it is that your will actually be contested successfully, especially if it's well drafted by a solicitor, and you've done proper asset protection. So please don't be put off. Please make a will. It is a very small chance that it will be contested. And even if your estate is contested, it's much better to have a will than to not have a will at all. And that's because if you have a will, it's easier for your estate solicitor to defend the estate. And it's easier for judges to be able to minimise the amount that they're giving to a plaintiff because they can say that's against the testamentary intentions of the deceased. So making a will gives you the best possible chance of your estate going to the people that you want it to go to, and it gives your estate solicitors the best possible way to defend your estate in the small chance that there is a claim on your estate. Now let's talk about the second part of this question. Yes, I do think it is sometimes unfair that people can contest wills. And yes, I do sometimes agree that it means that those who have not tried to make an effort or better themselves can show greater financial merit and are therefore rewarded by the system. But what I will say is that if you die and you have 3 children and they're on government benefits, then I think your estate should have to pay for your children rather than the taxpayers. If you leave a disabled child, then I think, and you don't include or provide adequate provision for your disabled child in your will, then yes, I do think courts should be able to adjust your will to properly provide for a disabled child. Or, in another scenario, what if you made a will when you were 18 and you just forgot to make another will, but since you were 18, you've obviously have a wife and children, then of course the court should be able to revoke your previous will and give your estate to your wife and your children rather than whoever you gave your estate to when you're 18. So there's some really good common sense and logical reasons why there should be some mechanism for wills to be contested or reviewed. The system's not perfect, but I think when we are trying to achieve some sort of middle ground and common sense, it's always going to be unfair to someone. We need to promote testamentary freedom and the ability to make a will and have surety that it'll be followed, but also have some common sense legislation that allows a will that was made when you were 18 to be ignored because it just clearly is not what you would have wanted anymore. Or if you've left out children who really do need provision, then yes, I do think your will should be able to be reviewed or altered